express their creative freedom. And I think I can do that in a way that, fiscally and business-wise supports all that, but as well as emotionally.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm empowered by feminine energy. Like, feminine energy it's a sort of a battery for me. Like, I thrive off of that energy.
And you're able to emotionally support, the emotional needs of multiple women.
Right,
and I think you realized that at an early stage in your life.
It took me a while to figure out how to sort of
do it with honesty.
Yeah, honestly, it took a while to do.
Did it, Dimitri? Did it take a while for you to figure out how to do it with honesty? Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Amuna with another conversation around what the Snowdens had shared with us many years ago. I'm just going to let their video play a little bit, but I really want to get to the honesty part, whether or not they were being honest with themselves. So let's listen a little more, and then we're going to go into what I have for you today.
With honesty.
Because what in reality, in our American society, ain't nobody on that.
Right.
Let's just be real. I mean, I think that's what prevents the educational, informed, non-biased conversations from happening is because we already step up to it with.
Right. Well, with this, and guys can probably chime in here, but it's like, if women say be honest. So if you went up to a bar and said, hey, I think you're very, very attractive. Can I buy you a drink and then perhaps sleep with you later on this evening? You know what I mean? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, the response would be appalling. It'd be like, oh my, you might get a drink, you might get slapped, you might get all kinds of things. People command and demand that level of honesty, but they're actually not prepared to receive it.
Yeah.
And we literally raise our children, whether it's in that extreme scenario or just in how we communicate, we raise our children not to be that honest.
But on the flip side of that, I think it is important to be that honest, because I feel like you'll get further quicker, because you'll be able to do the process of elimination.
I think we've heard enough. They're talking about honesty in the lifestyle of polygyny and what's really going on, and it's all cerebral. So I wanted to come to this comment. It was by Marin Nagash. The person says, I can see that this lifestyle, speaking of polygyny and honesty and transparency, is weighing down on Ashely. This is 2019. This is too much for a woman, spiritually speaking. OMG. Look at it and see for yourself, Ashely. Right? So you would think the person didn't come and call you names or anything or nothing. The person is just expressing, that this may be too much. Response, and I'm assuming this is Ashely from the way in which she responds. It's either going to be Ashely or Dimitri, right? Not sure what you're looking at, but this lifestyle isn't weighing me down. And given that the person said, isn't that right, Ashely? And the person say me down, I'm going to hopefully safely assume that this is Ashely answering. 10 years of a partnership I wouldn't exchange for anything. Fast forward 2 years later, and maybe that statement doesn't hold as much water as it did when she first made it. Or maybe she just wasn't being honest and needed to clap back on social media. Not sure. She would have to answer that one. So Maran Nagash comes back and says, I see your perseverance, Ashely. I see the true sacrifices you are making for your other half. It is commendable. I do feel for you, though. The amount of energy and strength it takes to maintain such a level of tolerance for his, quote, desire, end quote, to polygamy. Why do you think that when the Creator created one man and one woman only, he did not create another wife for him? In African nations, we have maids, which is equivalent to live-in nannies. It works. Who we're assuming is Ashely returns. None of us were there when the Creator was creating. All you know is what a book reads. Also, there's no need to feel, quote, feel for me, end quote. Save your energy for someone who may really need your energy, as I don't. I often speak about the importance of words. I'm most likely going to title this video off of that line right there. She says, save your energy. There's no need to feel for her. Conversations of this nature are futile, especially when someone is acutely set on a perception outside of the people actually living it. Anyway, thanks for being a fan and having a great rest of the week. That was like shade multiple times 10, right? The person responds, I'm watching the show and I am expressing my ideas. It is okay that you do not have to affirm or negate my ideas. We are watching your show after all. Responding is part of the show. I do have compassion for you. It is based on the energy that I see. You are definitely of a royal bloodline. I hate to see you in this situation. I sense that America brought your ancestors away from the kingdoms of your forefathers. Even your husband shows his royal bloodline. It just appears that pain has him all dried out of true royal love. Just what I see from your shows. And of course, it was only one man and one woman at the beginning. Life was made in the Horn of Africa, where it is called Genet until this day. This is the original name of lush land with all needs. The person is going into a whole history lesson about one woman and one man. Just look at the process of conception. You never need multiple men and multiple women to conceive a life of a child, do you? Nope. It is one man and one woman. Anyways, good exchanging with you. Yeah, so there you have it. She said to this person who was extending what seemed like genuine, authentic empathy, there is no need to feel for me. Save your energy for someone who may really need your energy, as I don't. So here we are 2 years later. The whole thing has fallen apart. Many people weren't honest. If you missed the other video about the leaked text that she sent to Dimitri, that she wasn't happy and she wasn't in a good place and no woman in their right mind will stand for. So it seems like, and this is another thing that we do, when somebody comes too close to home or it feels like we're under attack, then we tend to lash out on them as opposed to being honest, as what they were speaking about in this whole video, about what we're feeling, because we are already projecting this image to the world, and to walk it back may be too humbling for us. And so we deflect, or we put it back on the person who was giving it to us because it's too painful to really deal with. So I don't know if she meant that. Now she's showing pictures of her with Dimitri out the picture and just the children, but you told the viewing audience to keep their empathy. I don't even want to misquote her. There's no need to feel for me. Save your energy for someone who may really need it. So at this point, Chrissy is the one who needs it. She's the one who's in a space right now, in a different country with her 2 children. So if you haven't gone over to the GoFundMe, hit it up, share it, and continue to share love and light. Everybody have a blessed day.
Starts to happen is you're not being honest. People are saying what they think you want to hear. And then you finally get to a point where it's like, oh, I didn't really mean that.
But that's acceptable, right? So to your point, though, it's like, and so from the guy's perspective, if I went through life saying,